Hey Sagittarius, welcome to my channel, Heart to Heart Love Messages. If you're new here, welcome to the channel. If you are already subscribed here, welcome back. So today I have a love message from your person. This message will pick up on how your person is currently feeling about you, how they're currently viewing you, and your connection, as well as what is their mental and emotional process at this time. So let's go ahead and get into it. Let's get a very clear and concise message from your angels. So the first message we have here is you can't handle the truth. Wow, there's a very kind of firm energy coming through with this card here. Okay? Because when this card comes out, it's really pointing to a masculine that has been holding on or holding back some very, very important information from you, Divine Feminine. And I feel a certain heaviness with this card because I feel like it's been weighing on them for a while now. So this is someone who recently may have pulled their energy back from you. The communication could just be a little bit rocky right now, or for some of you the communication can actually be non-existent, okay? And you could be wondering what's going on their end or what caused this, okay? And I'm getting here that although you both may be in very different places right now, you still think about one another a lot. This was a very intense connection from the beginning, but something seemed almost too perfect, okay? I'm getting that when you met them, you felt like you knew this masculine deeply. Something about this was very organic and very, very effortless from the very, very beginning. So this is a masculine energy who is extremely into you, very attracted to you. There's something here being highlighted about your energies and how they work together, almost as if you match perfectly. So a very compatible connection coming through here. But something definitely took place in the recent past where it's almost as if something doesn't feel right to your person internally. And Divine Feminine, you may picked up on this energy. I feel like depending on how energetically bonded you are to them, you pay attention to certain things that they say, the way that they move here. Something is I'm getting very in sync type of energy here. And your person has been feeling some kind of way internally lately. And there's some information that they've been hiding for a while, okay? But they're actually ready to tell you. But what's interesting is they don't know if you will be open and ready to hear what it is that they have to say. And that's what's kind of stopping them. Because deep down, they may feel as if this is something you can't handle, okay? This could very well be projected energy, okay? Simply because they're not ready. They could be projecting it onto you as if you're not ready to receive it. But this is their energy. Because I don't think that they actually believe you can't handle it. I feel like they just don't know how you will react to this, and they feel like this could potentially change everything, okay? This is a very emotional energy coming through because this is a masculine who really feels as if your connection was going well, okay? They feel like you were headed in a positive direction, as if things were getting better in this connection here. And I feel like this truth, okay, something about what they're feeling something internally where they feel like if they were to express this to you, it could either set them back, it could turn things in a different direction here, okay? But where they are right now, they're justifying this by telling themselves that you can't handle this information. So if you're wondering how your person is currently feeling about you, you are literally the only thing on their minds right now. And they've been sitting back and asking themselves, what would you do or how would you react, Divine Feminine, if you were to know everything, okay? Everything that they've been feeling nudged to tell you. And I'm getting clearly that this is definitely something that it's like they've been preparing to tell you this, but they can't find the right words, okay? So this could definitely be something very, very heavy, and this could definitely be something tied to their personal journey or just a personal truth that they withheld from you, for a very, very long time, okay? Let's get the next message here. So the next message we have is, I can't forget what you said that day. Wow. Okay. So I'm getting clearly that there actually was an exchange in the recent past. And when you came in contact or when you engaged this masculine, something about your energy was very, very different. I'm getting that you are a very put together, very calm, divine feminine here. But something is being highlighted about your approach or the way that you expressed yourself. I feel like you picked up on something in your person's energy and you just confronted them, okay? That's how the energy is coming through. And you made it very clear to them that you wanted the truth about whatever this is. And this may be something that you are privy to, or for some of you, this was an internal nudge, okay? Something your intuition just wouldn't leave you alone about. And you had no other choice to confront this masculine, okay? I'm definitely getting that it's almost as if, you know, the reason why you approached them in this way is because you had concern for your person. It's like something was bothering them, or you could pick up on something was bothering them, you know, but it was indirectly kind of affecting your connection in a way. So this is definitely has to do with an external energy here. So your person was tied to either another person, a place, or a thing, okay? And I'm getting clear that you brought this to your person's attention as soon as it crossed your mind in an attempt to kind of put it out there. This is a very straightforward divine feminine energy I'm tapping into, where if something bothers you, you literally are like, let's put it out on the table, let's discuss it. You don't like to be in the dark about anything, especially anything that is directly affecting, you know, your life, your happiness, your connection, your well-being, okay, your mental capacity, your emotional, like everything. You're like, if this is going to affect me in any kind of way, let's just put it out there. Let's discuss it, and I'll decide if this is something that I want to deal with, okay? But when you did this, your person was not upfront with you. They did not confirm something for you, or even if they gave you some information, you still felt like it was just more to it, right? But and it kind of didn't sit right with you. The fact that you even asked them this, divine feminine, I'm getting caught them completely off guard. And it hasn't sat right with them ever since. But what's sticking out here is that ever since that day, this masculine knew that you were different, okay? You could literally see right through them. So this may have caused an adverse reaction in them, because I'm getting that this shook them to their core, because you were the first person to ever really see beyond what it was that they were presenting to you. And they've never been able to forget that moment, okay? And it definitely set you and this connection apart almost immediately. This masculine had no idea how tapped in you were, divine feminine, where you just know things without even having all the information presented to you. So I'm getting that after this happened, this masculine may have pulled their energy back a little bit. And this could have been the reason why this no contact or this separation started in the first place. So even though you're at a distance, this masculine wants you to know that they have not been able to forget what you said that day, okay? And this is the masculine energy I'm picking up that doesn't forget anything you say. Even if you're not aware of this, they really pay attention. They really take heed to the things that you say, and they hold them really, really close to their heart space. But something happened that day, Divine Feminine. I don't think both of you may be aware of this, but this is definitely something internal. Something spiritual happened that day. It's like you activated something within your masculine, because nothing has been the same for them. You caused a major shift just by simply letting them know, I see you, okay? And what's interesting is that they saw you clearly as well, okay? So you may not be aware, but so much happened in that one exchange where you both felt it, but in very, very different ways, okay? Wow, this masculine energy is very, very emotional. So Divine Feminine, if you are extremely bonded, even at a distance, okay, there is such intense energy within these dynamics that you will be able to pick up on your person's emotional process. So you may very well feel their emotions intensely at this time, and this is because they're really ready to express, okay, whatever this is. And this is definitely an external energy. So this is tied to a person, a place, a thing, an activity. For some, it could be, you know, a vice. This is something heavy, okay? Let's get the next message here. Wow. Yeah, the next message we have is, I'm healing from my past. Okay, so if you're resonating so far with this message, this masculine was definitely hiding parts of their past from you. Assuming that you would not be able to handle this part of them because it's vastly different from the person that you met. You know, I really believe that in relationships and in connections, we really get different versions of people depending on where they are on their journeys, okay? And this is how your person feels right now as well. It's like they tried so hard to stuff that part of themselves down, but they may have still been tied to this person, this place, or this thing in some way, shape, or form. This could be physically, this could be energetically, mentally, emotionally. Like I always say, whatever is on the inside of you that you haven't addressed will definitely come out in some kind of way here. And I feel like this is definitely indirectly affecting them, which was affecting what they were trying to establish with you. And I feel like they really didn't want to bother you with this because they didn't view it as a big deal. But that day, when you brought it to their attention, they had a shift, you know, that really changed their mind. I guess to even hear you bring this up, Divine Feminine, or to hear you ask about it, for some of you, you're so intuitive that you would just notice your person's energy is off. And this was due to things that were happening behind the scenes. So it would stop them dead in their tracks. Like, how does this Divine Feminine even know? So your approach is sticking out here. And this is something that you did very, very casually. Maybe you asked them if they were okay. Maybe you asked them if it was something that was going on that they would like to talk about. Something about your approach that's sticking out here that was very, very graceful, very classy. But you can feel intuitively that something was off with them. And you just casually asked, hey, is everything okay? Or is this something you want to talk about? Because maybe their energy was just coming off really, really weird to you, right? Maybe they could sound a little bit irritated or something like that, right? But it's like they're realizing that whatever it was that they just really tried to stuff down in them, you made them realize that this is something that they absolutely need to address. And more importantly, this is something that you can handle. It also makes them wonder about the things that you've seen in your life, Divine Feminine, on your journey, for you to be able to identify with the part of them that they have been trying to escape and the part of them that they had tried to hide. The fact that you were able to see this and see them in that way makes them think about who you are on a much deeper level. So although this connection, this may very well be why you came into this connection and things just begin to kind of mesh really, really quickly, to the fact where it seemed kind of almost too perfect. You and this masculine have a lot of things in common, but this may have manifested in very, very different ways, but the energy you both identify with. So you're able to pick up on things that they don't even express to you, things that are happening behind the scenes where you don't know what's going on, but when you come in contact with them, you can feel their energy. So when you ask them about it, or, you know, just become inquisitive, they're like, wow, how does this Divine Feminine even know that I'm going through things? You read their energy very, very well, okay? Very well. And this is a Divine Masculine that knows how to mask their emotions. They're like a master at masking their emotions, at appearing a certain way on the outside, but maybe going through a lot of emotional turmoil on the inside, okay? They've learned to kind of hide this heaviness deep within their heart space. But that's the thing about being a Divine Feminine. It's like you just try to go about your life, minding your business, okay? And you just have access to information that other people don't. It's like you pick up on things that people will overlook here. So this is maybe why you wanted to wait for more information, but you've definitely learned to trust your intuition because you were right, okay? You have I'm also getting something about healing, okay? You have very, very powerful healing abilities. And you may notice, you may look back over at your connections and notice that even your friendships, you know, or just your dynamics, that there's something about you that people are really, really drawn to. Something about your soothing energy, your ability to kind of nurture. And this could be in many, many different ways. But there's something about your energy that's sticking out here. And this masculine is definitely dealing with something very, very heavy from their past. So this could be generational, this could be a cycle, okay? This is very heavy energy that they've been carrying with them for a very long time, and they're attempting to heal. But that exchange that they had with you that day, it's like it plays on their mind over and over and over because you called it out, okay? And you definitely push them into a massive healing cycle to actually address this, because they're realizing, wow, if Divine Feminine picked up on it, that means that it's still a part of me in some way, and it means that it still can affect my future in some way. So yeah, they have a lot. They're thinking about a lot at this time. Let's get the next message here. All right, so the next message we have here is, this is really hard for me. So Divine Feminine, you may not be aware of this, but these last couple of months have been extremely uncomfortable for this Divine Masculine. Because if they were to be 100% honest with you, it's like they don't really want you to know anything about the person that they used to be. There's a chapter of their life that is tied to a lot of pain, a great deal of pain. And this pain attracted different types of people, places, and things to this masculine, okay? And I'm getting that your person was a totally different version of themselves. Like, you will probably be shocked, like completely shocked to see this version of them. And they've done their damnness to make sure that none of this kind of spills over into what they were trying to create with you. But they weren't successful because you picked up on this energy. You picked up on there's something, some type of underlying energy here that your person is trying to conceal. And that's why it's almost like their soul will not let them rest until they get this out, because now they're figuring out that it's indirectly affecting you in some kind of way. But there's this really conflicting energy, okay? So I feel like when you address them or when you ask them a question, maybe you were a little inquisitive about something, they felt extremely exposed around this topic, around whatever this is. But on the other hand, it actually made them feel a little bit closer to you, simply because you were the only one who's seen what they were trying so hard to hide, okay? Very conflicting energy here. But that exchange that day, something very spiritual happened in that moment. It was kind of like an aha moment, or like a light went off for this masculine. And you kind of pushed them into a major healing phase where they begin to really unpack a lot of these things here. So if you're asking yourself why your masculine may respond to you in a certain type of way when you ask them certain questions, or when you just are really curious, you have a really curious energy here, and they don't really have a response, they want you to know that because of how in tune you are with their energy, although they may not be able to clearly articulate what it is that they're going through, or they were not able to do this, it's impossible for them to kind of ignore you. You may feel as if they ignore you, or they don't really, pay attention to your concerns in that way. But they want you to know that it's impossible, because you have direct access to their heart space, okay? And no one else has this. I'm also getting something about peace here. Wow, that just came through very clearly. So if you're wondering why your person is pulling away over something that really doesn't have anything to do with your connection or you, they're at a place in their lives where peace is the #1 priority. And it's like their souls can't rest holding on to this part of themselves. It's like they want to clear their conscience, but they also want to have clarity as well. I feel like you may be the only person, Divine Feminine, the first person who's made them feel very peaceful, as if they can have a peaceful connection. This is something that is not overcomplicated. This is a really safe space that you both have created with one another, where they feel like they can be themselves with you, okay? And this is what happened in that exchange. But they may have very well reacted in a very impulsive way, because they were absolutely triggered. And where they stand now, they're viewing you in this connection very differently. It's almost as if they were super appreciative that you even brought this to the light, okay? You also made them view relationships very differently as well, okay? But you make them definitely feel like you are a safe space. You bring them peace, okay? And this is something that makes your connection with them stand out in their hearts and their minds. Let's get the next message here. Wow, the next message we have is, I'm being pulled in your direction. Yeah, their soul is literally guiding them in your direction, Divine Feminine. There's this deep, deep pull. They're having a physical reaction at this time too. There's more like a gut feeling. So if you feel kind of activations, Divine Feminine, like in your stomach and things like that, this is definitely your person having a physical reaction to what it is that they feel internally. They're definitely being nudged, okay? Because they may have reacted very impulsively in that moment, okay? But after some time, they realized why that exchange needed to happen the way that it did. And they view that moment as a very, very powerful exchange between the both of you. And that's why they replay it over and over. It kind of makes them feel closer to you. It makes them want to open up and express their true selves, okay? Because whatever this is that they're dealing with is very heavy emotionally. And maybe they stuffed this down out of fear, out of shame. And you picked up on this. Almost as if you could kind of see bits and pieces of their story without them even having to tell you. But the way that you approach this, Divine Feminine, is what blew their mind, okay? Is what kind of made them feel safe, is what activated something in them, some type of awakening, some type of purge, some type of healing, okay? I'm getting like a very classy approach, okay? And you've given them something that no one else has. It's almost like you've given this masculine the gift of authenticity, okay? Of feeling like it's okay for them to be themselves and that they don't have to hide. And also acceptance as well. This is very, very beautiful energy. So, yeah, it's like this person is definitely viewing you as rare at this time. They feel like they really want to be with someone who brings them peace. Like you make their soul feel at peace. And there's something here about expansion as well. I just got that clearly. So you may not be aware of this, Divine Feminine, but this is very well a connection that could be going to the next level. And a lot of time for the Divine Masculine or the masculine energy, well, just for people in general, it's sort of like they have this list, okay? And this could be unconscious, but there are certain things that you need from a person, you know, or within a connection to make you feel as if this is the one, okay? It's safety, it's peace, you know, respect, reciprocity. It's certain things here. And I feel like that right there, whatever you showed them in that moment was definitely the missing piece, okay? You made them feel like you were a safe space. That relationship was a safe space where they didn't have to hide themselves, okay? And there's definitely been a major, major shift within your dynamic. And you may feel this as well, Divine Feminine. This masculine's heart space is definitely expanding in a way like never before, okay? Let's get the last message here. Wow. The last message we have is, my heart only wants you. That is very, very beautiful. So yeah, if you're at a distance from your person and you're wondering how they view you at this time right now, you are the only person that they want, because you are literally the only person who has direct access to their heart space. It's impossible for them to connect with another soul the way that they have connected and bonded with you, simply because you are able to see the parts of them that they will never, you know, show or open up to other people. And they're at this place in their lives where they're expanding and growing beyond who they were in their past. A lot of times you will see people in the present moment, but there are still energies embedded with them, embedded deep within them on a cellular level that is actively controlling and creating their future from a past timeline. This is something that your person wants to purge, okay? And so their soul won't let them rest until they do come to you and they tell you, look, this is what I've been through. This is where I've been in life, you know. They may have a lot of shame around this. This may be tied to a person. Maybe this was a past relationship that, you know, they still felt some type of energy, you know, this could be a negative energy, a lower energy attached to them in some kind of way. Maybe this has something to do with a thing, you know, maybe something that they used to do, or this could manifest in many, many different ways. But they still feel like it's affecting them in some kind of way, and they've noticed that it's affecting this connection. And so when you first approach them, the fact that you even picked up on this energy is mind-blowing, because they've never shared this with you. But they can, you know, sometimes maybe they were a little bit irritable, or maybe they were standoffish, or it has nothing to do with you. But any type of energy that's within a person has to come out. And a lot of times when you align with someone who makes you feel safe, something about your internal and your emotional process will begin to purge, you know, and your person may not have even picked up on this, but it's like that clicked for them in that moment. Wow, once I got around the divine feminine, these things started to show. You know, I started to show myself. So even though you're at a distance from your person, something is happening at this time. And your person is definitely being pulled in your direction. I feel like you can pick up on this energy very, very intensely right now, because they're going through a healing process. This is definitely happening universally with this energy. It's almost as if things that are not supposed to be here are just naturally purging. And so they tried their damnedest to keep this from you, divine feminine, but I definitely feel like your connection is moving in a, you know, another direction here. You're definitely expanding, because things that they, you know, didn't even think that they will offer you, now they're willing to open up and express to you in this way. So this is beautiful, beautiful energy, okay? Your person is definitely seeing you through the lens of love, of true love, and of peace. You have offered them, you have given them the gift of peace and authenticity, and made them feel like it's okay for them to actually be themselves in a connection. And this may be very new to them. So where they stand right now, their heart only wants you. It's almost impossible for them to open up, you know, to anyone else, because you were the person who has given them this very, very rare gift, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and end the reading right here. If you resonated with this message, be sure to hit the like button on the way out, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye.